I think in today's NBA, it kind of sucks because injuries are always going to be a thing, no matter what sport you play, basketball, football, any type of sport, any sport at all. Injuries are going to be the problems. And in today's NBA, we have a lot of players who do get injury prone or do have season ending injuries or even career ending injuries. It is uh, that bad. It's really become that bad. And when it comes to a person such as Klay Thompson, who is a great shooter, good defender, probably one of the best shooting guards in the league right now, one of the best. And it kind of just you just have to sit there and kind of be like, wow, this is actually happening. Someone who is known for being on the court most of the time and doing damage on the court, and yet he can't even play a single game due to another injury. Now, as you already known, Klay Thompson had been injured through the previous playoffs, and now he's been injured this off season. Due to practice. He was in a practice game. Just doing his thing, and of course he tears his right Achilles. I think it is. Let me just double check on that because I don't want to get anything misconstrued. Yeah, so he's torn his right Achilles tendon, and it was confirmed. I think, yeah, the MRI scan was confirmed a couple of days ago, and they have said that he will be missing the 2020 and 21 season, which is just it's not a good time for him at all because this was the season where him and Steph Curry were supposed to come back and really show that they can still do their thing on the Warriors and still show that they are a powerful squad in the West, which I still think they are if both of them didn't get injured. But of course, they've had a few trades, lost a few players and whatnot, and the whole debacle with having KD on their team. So yeah, I definitely think that you know when you hear things like this, it's not nice at all. It is not nice at all. DeMarcus Cousins was actually in a similar situation with his injury, but now he's found a team with the Houston Rockets, and hopefully, if Russell Westbrook and James Harden do stick together, they can kind of like work around, being him and working around him. Sorry, and of course, DeMarcus Cousins can be like that third option. But moving back to Clay's situation, it's just that he is you know, pretty much the second best, or I think you could even argue the first best player on the Warriors. But I think a lot of people will choose Steph over Clay, which is understandable, very understandable. But it's kind of it's mad to think that Clay is going to be out for another season, and again, it's going to be like another. I hope it's not like another D-Rose situation, but it is like that because there are players out there who are great to a certain caliber, and of course, it just affects when you get injured. It affects your mental. Now, with D Rose's situation, he was out 2 seasons, just like Clay, and it got to his mental because the team that he was with traded him. Then he got traded from that team to another team to another team, and then until Klay Thompson, I mean, sorry, not Klay Thompson, Derrick Rose dropped that 50-point game on the Timberwolves. That's when everybody was like, he can still do it. He's still a force. I think you know, like it's gonna be sad if I hear that the Warriors trade him away because of his injury and they want to find somebody else, which is fair enough. They do need to find someone else to fill that role for now. But I'm just hoping this injury doesn't affect him. And I think even Steph Curry said that there was a lot of tears, a lot of crying. Of course, which is of course it's understandable. It's another injury out again, but again, you just have to find a way to bottle it and push through the season. There's always ways to work around these things. But as for Clay, I just hope his mental is okay, and I just hope that he recovers quicker. Hopefully, they did say he could be coming back before the end of the season, but again, it's like you want this player to be there for at least if he came back at halfway through the season, I think it'd be so much better. But again, these injuries, the injuries like like a tear, like a torn Achilles and whatnot, it's just it sounds small because it's your Achilles, but it plays a big role into the game of basketball. Of course, a lot of jumping, landing. Again, he's gonna have to re-strengthen his muscles again to try and find a way to prevent this injury again, because it could be a thing where he's injury prone. And if that's the worst thing right now for Klay, because he is in his prime, and I don't of him being injury prone, it's just gonna, get him bouncing back and forth from different teams. And I think even the Warriors have spoken about trading him because of this. And I think, well, if you have enough faith that this guy, you know, brought you a couple championships, helped to bring you a couple championships, and you have enough faith in him to get his rehab on and to do his thing, then by all means keep him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying keep him. I'll do anything I can to keep him. And of course, you gotta find another shooter to fill in Clay's place. Of course, you definitely gotta find another shooter, because it is gonna be very tough this season. As you know, as everybody's seen the trades, I was going to talk about the trades that have been happening this week, but I'll probably talk about it sometime next week. I just felt like this issue is a bit more serious, and I wanted to actually kind of discuss this a bit more. And as you know, the trades are going off. The Eastern Conference is getting a bit better. The Western Conference is stronger, is getting stronger as usual. The thing is, I didn't want Klay to miss out. I don't think nobody wanted Klay to miss out, but yet, he has to miss out another season, and it's sad. Like I said, DeMarcus Cousins and him missed out a season. But at least DeMarcus Cousins has found, he's not re-injured himself, and at least he's found himself a spot on the Houston Rockets. So, let's just, hopefully he'll be all right for the season starts and whatnot and whatever. But again, injuries are just, it's annoying because you can't prevent them, and well, you can prevent yourself from injuring yourself furthermore, but at the same time, you can't really stop this. It's a part of the game. It's a part of the process. I'm sure Klay knows that as well. I'm sure he would have I'm sure he would have liked to have been out for at least a month or two, rather than the full season or near to the full season. It's sad, you know. As in for the Warriors team itself, of course, Steph Curry again, I think he's gonna have to step up. And he was also out with an injury too. And he's recovered, he's doing well. Of course, Draymond Green was the only player from the three that wasn't injured. He would have to, be the veteran for the team, and of course, give the whole team support and whatnot. So I'm hoping that this team is definitely ready for what's about to happen once the season starts, because they've still got I think the Warriors now have Kelly Oubre Jr., and they've still got Andrew Wiggins. So again, they've got two young guys who can still do damage, still do their thing. Again, it's just it is just looking bad right now for Klay. I didn't think it would be this bad at all. When I first heard he got injured again, I thought, okay, maybe he's gonna be out for like another month or two, which isn't so bad. But then when they said another season, I was just like, come on, man, like, but I hope the rehab does really help and push him forward, and I hope, it just doesn't mess up his mental, because again, like, he might. It's sad to say, but some players, they don't want to even, when they've injured themselves again, they don't want to jump, they don't want to do certain movements to injure themselves again. But sometimes you've got to go through that to push yourself, to find out what you're made of, really. And I hope, I mean, it's not like, it sounds crazy, but, if it was a broken bone, he'd be out for a couple of months. It would heal, the bone would double heal itself, just to make sure rehab would be good, and he would be fine. He would be fine. But again, of course, injury, it takes time, it takes process. I mean, I'm sure everybody remembers what was it Paul George's injury back in, I think it was back in 2012, getting ready for the Olympics when he injured himself. That injury was crazy. Literally, his leg literally just snaps in half, and it wasn't like, and the weirdest thing about it, he didn't look like he landed awkward, but the way he landed and then it just went flat, and I was like, nah, it's just mad. It is very mad. Of course, if you want to bring up a college, I'm talking about ages here, but if you want to bring up a college player, Kevin Ware, I'm sure everybody remembers the Kevin Ware injury years ago, back in 2010, 2011, I think. That injury was bad. And boy, it's just it's how you overcome it mentally. That's the problem. And I think Clay is a pretty calm, pretty clear mental guy, but at the same time, and to hear an injury like this, it's just annoying. It really is annoying. I feel sorry for the Warrior fans because, like, they were waiting for Steph Curry and Clay to come back, and they heard, yeah, they're fully recovered, they're training. I think we saw pictures of Steph Curry in the gym training. He looks really well, looks healthy. Same with Clay, and now again they're out, or he's out. Sorry, and you know, it's more losing a star player on your team. Losing one is just like, wow, you know what I'm saying. But they're losing both last season. It wasn't good for the Warriors, but now they lost one again, and it's just like, yeah, well, So I think the bright side of this is that I think Steph could potentially have another MVP season if things play out right for him and he does what he needs to do. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for the podcast today, guys. Next week I will discuss the trades that have been happening and what's been going on. Stay tuned for that. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.